us off. Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for hopping on for another episode of the Sister to Sister Connection Talk Show. Twonta and I do this talk show every single Wednesday. We talk about sisterhood, stability, and spirituality. And we have another awesome topic for each and every one of you tonight. So, as you guys are rolling on in, please say hello. That lets us know that our comments are working. Let us know that you can hear us. Just go ahead and just blow up the chat. Also, if you is anything on this broadcast that resonates with you, feel free to just go ahead and chat it up down below. We love for you guys to get engaged in all the things. And we're super excited because this is episode 3 of our season 17 of the show. So that's a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. Okay. So if those of you can hear me, go ahead and type 1 in the chat. Again, we want to make sure that our comments are working. We want to make sure that you guys can hear us and all the things. And yes, this is definitely going to be, like I said, a really, 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 really good conversation. I'm really, really excited about it. So go ahead and kick us off, Twonta.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I hope everyone is doing amazing. And so this topic I think is for all of us. It's not just for the viewers, but it's for every single one of us to remind us, what we need to continue to do while we're in the process of closing out this year, right? Now, but before I start that, I wanted to tell Tisha, because I'm just reading this article before we had came on live. I have wanted to bring it to your attention, but also to all moms, to all parents, attention, please. And I just came across this article on Facebook here about 2 children as ages 9 and 10. They are facing serious charges, including attempted murder
Mm,
of a 5-year-old girl in Cleveland.
mm.
And this happened in September the 13th. And they did just unthinkable, unimaginable things towards this little baby that, you would
Wow.
never imagine a 9 and a 10-year-old would ever even think about doing.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
it was attempted murder, felonious assault, kidnapping, strangulation in connection with the incident. They pulled her hair out. They did all kinds of stuff to this child.
Wow.
Hey, Annette.
Hi, Annette. How are you?
They did all kinds of stuff to this little girl. And when you
Wow.
guys go on Facebook, you might come across it because it's been on Facebook for a minute. And this little girl is just absolutely gorgeous. I think she is autistic, if I'm not mistaken, just by reading
Uh-huh.
this article.
Right.
But
Right.
even with that being said, the way how these kids have the way how they did this child is just
Horrible.
unimaginable.
Horrible.
So they have been charged as adults, so to speak,
Mm.
but everybody's screaming for the parents of
I was
these.
just about to say that. Where are the parents going to be held accountable
I don't know.
for this?
I have no idea. I'm hoping that they will give further information based on what they have here. But at this point, I will
Hmm.
hope that they definitely will agree to definitely get these parents
Right.
or guardians arrested as well.
Hmm.
Because there's no way in God's green earth how in the world how. I mean, it's just
That's
unimaginable.
crazy. That's
So
that's definitely that young lady's going to be definitely traumatized. My prayers go out to her and her family, but definitely the parents need to be held accountable
Oh yeah,
for this.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. Parents definitely need to be held accountable for this because this is just inexcusable. It's
Hmm.
just unbelievable. And so I just wanted to bring this out to all of the moms out there to please, cover your kids in prayer, and to also talk to them and have them to, come to you if they notice anything, or if they've been taunted or been bullied or what
Mm-hmm.
have you. So, you can, the moms or parents can
Address it.
be alert,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's just unthinkable. Nobody would
Mm-hmm.
think that. Nobody would think that. When
Yeah.
you read this, you would think it's a grown adult doing this
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is children doing this to
Children.
a child, to another child. So,
Yeah.
so I didn't mean to bring that up, but it kind of bothered me too. And my daughters are adults, but God forbid if my babies were this age and you hearing this kind of foolishness happening now, it's just unbelievable. So yeah, just keep your kids prayed up, and and to make sure that they bring to your attention about some things about their classmates or kids in general that may have
Mm-hmm.
said something out of order. So we parents can be, do our due diligence and bring it to the administration's attention at the school,
Yeah.
so they could be aware of what's going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
gotta
that's
we
what.
gotta make our children know that help our children know that they're in a safe space. Creating those
Yes.
safer spaces for the children to express that. A lot of things don't get told right away, or
Yeah.
if even teachers notice something that doesn't really get reported. So we got to keep our eyes open, like we used to do back in the day. I
Mm-hmm.
know, I grew up in Westbury, Long Island, and I always had people make sure that they're telling my mom anything we did wrong or anything. Just have those extra pair of eyes and be aware. Be aware. Everything's like, oh, it's not my business. People are like, mind my business. I'm minding my business. So you can't do. You could save somebody's life by just saying something, by just reporting something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
sad.
grew up
That's
in the
sad.
era
That's
was
scary.
about, it takes a village. That's what I
Yeah.
grew up in,
Yep. Same here.
everyone in the community was all about taking care of each other's children, not
Mhm.
just their own, but even their neighbors' kids and stuff. And anything was weird or crazy went down, they immediately contacted the parents, and let them know, or they acted like the parents, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they were safe and all of that stuff. So we need to be
Yeah, you
more,
gotta.
you know,
Man, I'm so like protective over my kids. There's only a
yeah,
very small handful of people that I would even say, okay, I'm sharing my kids with them in a sense, because you
right,
don't know what
right,
people's intentions are. And now you see these
exactly.
little children, what, 9 and
9 and 10.
9 and 10, doing
Yes.
this. Like that
Yes.
had to have come from somewhere. Like a nine and
Yeah.
10 year old don't just wake up and say, I want to just do attempted murder to somebody. Like, no, it got to come from
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, so you got to watch your kids
Yeah.
around other kids now.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
crazy. So yeah, that people are saying that it had to come from, they might have been molested or sexually abused or something, or traumatized themselves, and now
Right.
they are just,
Repeating the
executing
habit
all of that.
behavior.
Yeah, repeating that pattern and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that we need that village. We
that's
do.
right.
We need that village. It is so imperative more now than ever, because it's just so much going on. Our kids are so caught up with technology nowadays, and
Mhm.
whatever they see, they believe,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we just gotta be really big, like you said, we gotta be overprotective. Now it's time to be overprotective,
Over protective,
to
over
kids.
observant. Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ask them thousands of questions, especially when they get to that stage when they want to hang out with their friends more
Mhm.
and want to go
Mhm.
over their friend's house and stuff. Well, who are these people? Who their mama? Who their daddy?
Mhm.
I did that to my daughters when they were young, and I didn't care. I need to know,
Yeah.
like, well, you know them already. I please
Yeah,
refresh my
I
memory.
know. Yeah. I may know them, but I don't know 'em. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to bring that to
No,
everyone's
yeah,
attention.
I'm
So,
glad you brought that
um,
up. Really, got y'all. Let us know, guys, if y'all heard of that particular story that we just referenced today. And I hope they're, again, like I said before, I hope the parents get held accountable. I do. I
absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
So,
So we're moving forward to our topic tonight. It is called Live. I wanted to talk about us keep living, just keep going. We
mm,
have a whole lot to live for. We have a whole lot that is ahead of us.
hmm
And, if we just stay committed and stay consistent and stay encouraged,
hmm
and motivated, that, we won't feel the strain like we've been feeling for the past, several days, weeks, or months for,
Mm.
since this year. Actually, this year has been really heavy for a lot of people, honestly.
Yes, it has. Yes.
Been very heavy for a lot of
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And there's a lot of people who are very deeply discouraged. So that's why I wanted to bring this topic out, so just to remind our sisters out there that in spite of, regardless of what's going on, and I know I'm not taking light of that, I know it's heavy, you still have a whole lot to
Hmm.
life for. Okay.
Right.
We're
Right.
going to get started with the points tonight. So let's go ahead and put our first point, ladies. So let's go ahead and start living for our children. I think that's the first point. Yes, live
Yep.
for your children. This live for your kids. Your kids are your legacy. Okay, your
Hmm.
kids
Hmm.
are what's going to continue the. It's going to continue the legacy that you have birthed, that you have poured into them.
Hmm.
Okay, because when you leave this earth, now they got to take over, right?
Hmm.
Got to
Hmm.
take over. So it is our responsibility as moms, okay, to continue to, pour in our children, discipline our children, correct our children, support our children, love on our
Hmm.
children, teach
Hmm.
our children, and give them that tough love. Now, tough
Yeah.
love does not mean just being physically or verbally abusive. No,
Hmm.
about really telling them the truth and nothing but the truth, even when the truth hurts,
Hmm.
right? You gotta tell them that these things, and even especially when they get into that stage of adult life, because when they turn 18 or 21, they still ain't grown yet. They think they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
but really don't understand life yet. They're just
Right.
entering into adulthood that is very massive and very big, of issues, responsibilities, accountabilities, all of those things. And a lot of them are not trained to handle
Hmm.
what's waiting for them.
Hmm.
But you need to live for your kids, because your kids is a blessing.
Yes, they are.
All agree our kids is a blessing from God.
Hmm.
God poured these babies into us. He gave us these babies because he knew that we have the capabilities of raising and training our children, right? And especially using God's word as the foundation to build them, to help them and remind them of who they are,
That's
you
right.
know, and to let them know that when they reach to that stage of life, that they will go ahead with confidence and with guaranteed faith that they can be successful in whatever life brings to them. Life
Hmm.
ain't easy. It's not. Life is going to have those challenges. And that's the thing that a lot of our teenagers need to understand, that you're going to have these challenges. It's going to
Hmm.
get difficult. You think it's crazy now. Wait till you get 25. Wait till you get
Hmm.
35. Wait till you
Hmm.
get 45. By
Hmm.
that time, you probably already working a full-time job. Hopefully you still got the job. You probably married, got kids, probably divorced, got kids. I don't know. But by the time you get to that stage of life, you will already be living, you will already have experienced some things, and it's going to develop you and change you, hopefully for the better versus the worse,
That's
right?
right.
But we have to live for our kids, our children, our adult children, and
Hmm.
continue to support
Hmm.
them in their dreams, support them in their vision, what they see
Hmm.
themselves doing.
Hmm.
Let them know that they are talented, that they are gifted, they are powerful human beings, and they have the capabilities of being successful in whatever they see themselves pursuing in life.
That's right.
But in the end, you're going to have those setbacks. You're going to have those people. You're going to have haters. You're going to have manipulators. You're going to have all that stuff going on around you. But you got to know who you are. That's the foundation right there. Know who you are. And we as moms, they see us all the time working, multitasking, doing all kinds of stuff. And
Right.
even though some still don't yet grasp what we have sacrificed just to make sure they got a roof over their head, they got food on the table and all that stuff,
Hmm.
right? Quite don't get what we had to put to the side, of what we had to, like, not really tell them at this stage, because they're still kind of young. But when they get at a certain level, then that's when you can really share to them, look, mama did this, mama did that, but I did a lot to make sure that you get to this point in life, and that you have a firm foundation that you can bounce off on and start pursuing your legacy.
Right.
Because now transferring that legacy to them, now they are starting to create and build legacy for their future children
That's
as well,
right.
you know. So it's imperative that we stand strong. I've heard so many conversations when it comes to um parents or single parents for sure, or even couples or for people who are in relationships, that they stay in relationships because of their kids, or they still have to work these two jobs because of their kids, you
Hmm.
know because they love their babies, they want the best for their babies, they want their
Right.
children more than what they have at this current
Hmm.
state of life,
Hmm.
and that's a beautiful thing, because again, that means that a mom or a dad, they sacrifice so much.
Hmm. Hmm.
Our kids may not never understand that until they become parents themselves,
Hmm.
but yeah, what we do, they would never get, they would never understand. But what we do it out of love. We do it
Hmm.
because we know that there's greatness for our kids, there's greatness in our kids,
That's right.
and I mean kids, not just minors, but even young adults,
Hmm.
right? Young adults, there's greatness in them.
That's
And so,
right.
they, here's the thing, it's like we connected to our babies, because yeah, we pour into them, but they pour back into us too,
That's
even though
true.
they may not verbally express it like we do to them, but yet they still pour into us, because we see the successes that they have accomplished. They get a good grade in school, or they made the honor roll, or they got accepted to a school, or a trade school, or whatever it is. And that's so encouraging for us. That helps us to pursue forward to what we want to do in life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yes,
100%.
so we got to continue to be that strength for them. Likewise, they are being strength for us.
Hmm.
They are helping us to stay focused. They're helping us to not give up on ourselves when life is hard, when the bills are due, and you really don't have the support like you thought you did. But your kids come, and God knows how to work through those babies, because some kids come, give you hugs, kisses, or just remind you, Mom, you beautiful, Mom, you the
Yep.
best, Mom, you all that. And I get that all the time with my
Yeah.
girls when we were young, and they didn't know what I had gone through an hour before, shedding tears, crying, or whatever. But here they come just to encourage me, and I may not have said it directly like that, but it melt my heart. And I said, "Oh, thank you so much, my beautiful baby dolls," like that, or what have you. So yes, we got a whole lot to live for, especially for our children and through our kids. But in return, they come back and bless us too.
That's true. That's true. And it's very important what you said here. Live for your children. They got to see you living. One of the things I told
Yeah.
myself that I need to stop showing to my kids is me being overwhelmed, me looking like, okay, I got so much going on. I got to do this.
Amen.
I'm jumping into that. And like, I was just thinking, like last week, I was like, okay, Leticia, you got to stop bouncing around. What really helped me in the past, before the past year has been a struggle for me. You guys know I shared that on the show many a times. Been a struggle for me personally. But before
Mhm.
that happened, what I was really my kids really got to see me be honed in on one major thing, which was my business, right? So it's like I had to say last week, I said, you know what, I got to stop bouncing around from here, there, everywhere, and really go back to the basics, go back to me being honed in on the things that are producing the biggest results. And once I started doing that, I instantly saw a shift happening in like within 24 hours. God was showing
Yeah.
me that. So your kids have to really see you living, you know
Yeah.
before we could live for our children, we definitely got to live for ourselves, which is what we're going to dive into more of that in a second. But I think
Mhm.
that's so important. They got to see that you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of your overall aesthetic and things like that, because then they're going to turn around and do the same thing. So
Yep. Yep.
our kids, Shoshana said, I once showed my son his school tuition bill. I willingly sacrificed and would do it again. Yep, but I wanted him to understand. Absolutely. And
Absolutely, Shoshana.
I saw something, and I know Shoshana could resonate with this because she's in the life insurance industry as well. But we want to work
Yeah.
towards not having our children start from zero, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things now that I'm really focusing on just a couple of things, just my brand, okay, and that's it. Anything else outside of that, I'm literally pushing aside, because
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we gotta build something to where we're building something for our children, but we're making sure that when our children really get out there into the world, into the job force, into
Yeah.
entrepreneurship or whatever, they're not starting at zero. Like I was listening to a podcast the other day, and he was talking about that. We got to make sure we built on that so our children can live, and as we live for our children as well. Yeah.
Amen. That is so true. Yeah, and I want you ladies to put in the comment section, type in live and put your name.
Yes.
So for me, I would say live Twonta. You saying
Hmm.
it to yourself.
Say to
Live
yourself,
Twonta.
live, Leticia. Live, Therese. Live.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Remind yourself this every single day.
Hmm.
Right, and especially when you come across a moment where it becomes so overwhelming, as Letitia had mentioned.
Hmm.
It becomes, because life goes on, you go on across your day, you get a phone call, something happened with your child at school, or you get a call, something happened with your mom, or
Hmm.
or you look in your mailbox and then you get a shut off notice, or
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
a whole lot that's dealing. I mean, right now people have lost their jobs with the federal government. All of this stuff
Hmm.
is happening, right? And it's like, what more? What more? But you got to breathe and say, "Live, girl. Keep pushing."
Hmm. Hmm.
I say, "Live." You got to keep pushing. You got to
Gotta keep
keep going,
pushing.
right? Because, like you said, Tisha, because your kids need to see that.
They need to. And like even my son today, let me tell you what happened today.
What?
My son's about to graduate this year, right? And so,
Yay!
back in the day, I don't know how much your senior trip was and your prom was, but I think probably mine was probably like maybe $400. I think. I know I had a prom, a
Hmm.
senior trip, cap and gown. This boy gave me. Listen, y'all. I want y'all to tell me in the comments how much is his senior graduation, prom,
Hmm. Hmm.
trip. How much y'all
Yeah.
think it's gonna cost? Right?
Ooh.
He gave
I
me the
think.
price today, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a
it's a
lot.
lot. It's over $1,000.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and this is why I'm really getting focused on my brand, and that's it. Because I'm like, I gotta pay this bill by a portion of it by the end of this month. So I'm like, I don't care what people bring to me or present to me. The answer is a hard no because I gotta focus on paying this, right? So it's
Oh
like
wow.
things unexpected that comes up, but we don't want our children to feel like, okay, no, I ain't gonna be able to afford that, or I'm gonna pass it on to
Mm.
somebody else. We gotta still show that face because even when he saw me see the amount, I said $1,000. He's like, no, Mom, it's okay. We don't need. I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, no, I was shocked because I think
That's when you
my
gotta breathe.
graduation was $400. What the heck? Oh no, I would have passed out, Shoshana. I would have passed. I'm like, no, we're gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese's and we're gonna. I would have. Because like I have to hit the ground running with some things, but that's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's life.
absolutely.
And at the end of the day, no matter what amount, our kids are worth it. But these are the unexpected things that come up that we have to say, you know what? Let me just live, do what I got to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
and still have
yeah.
joy through in the process. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what?
Mhm.
Just thinking about my girls at the time when they were in high school, I know Naya, she was working at the time, and so she pretty much took the responsibility for the most part to pay most of her senior dues. We helped pay for the senior trip.
Yeah.
And they gave us like, what do you call it? Like every quarter you had to pay the balance
Yeah.
or something like that or
Yeah.
whatever.
Little payment plan.
The
Mhm.
payment, exactly, a payment
Mhm.
plan, and
Mhm.
that was a stretch in itself,
Phew.
that was a stretch,
Yep.
but, we did it,
Mhm.
we did
Make
it,
it happen.
and yeah, and I can't even, and that's just the trip,
Mhm.
to the senior pictures,
Mhm. The
um,
the the yearbook.
the
They have a
yearbook,
frame for
exactly,
the diploma that they get. You pay for
yeah,
the frame and all that. A little. a
Yeah.
little pouch they
We ain't
put it
even
in.
talking about the prom. We ain't talking
Mm-mm.
about prom. We ain't talking about
T-shirt.
prom dresses. Yeah,
Yep.
all of that stuff. That's include. It was not
Because
included.
they
You have to
have to pay
add
for the
that.
cost of the venue. All that is included in
Yeah,
that bunch. But
yeah,
we still
yeah.
gotta live. We gotta get through it. Because
You
it's
got to
like
get through
we
it.
gotta stop saying life is life, and we just gotta live through these things and just get it done and show up, make it happen, and just eliminate distractions, eliminate all these little things that you have to be tied into, and just get laser focused on what's working, what's been working. Because we gotta sit back. We all have to sit back.
Yeah. I think my Wi-Fi is acting up again. Can y'all hear me? I don't even know. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Therese, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. 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 I think that's on the Letitia's end. Because I thought that was me. Because my Wi-Fi is acting wiki wonky. Okay, okay, no problem. Okay. Yeah, so let's move on to our second point, y'all. So yes, live for your children. So the second point that I wanted to address as well, we need to live for our future. Live for your future too, y'all. Do you understand that God is not through with y'all yet? I want y'all to type it in the comments. God is not through with me yet. He is not through with me yet. Put that in the comments. That's an old gospel classic song. There you go, Queen.
Sorry, my laptop just did an update. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me? I'm good.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes. I thought it was me because I
Yeah,
was gonna say, oh,
I saw you on the thing. I was like, oh, she probably think it's her Wi-Fi. Thank you guys. Thank you
yeah.
guys.
So
Yes.
I was just telling them because we moved to the second point that
Yes.
to
Go
type
ahead.
in the comments to say God is not through with me yet
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
our future. Because God, our future is rich. Our
Mhm.
future is amazing. Our future is something that we should all look forward to.
Mhm.
But we allow our circumstances to corrode our view of our future,
Mhm. Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Right.
And that puts us in a mindset where we're like, I don't know if I want to I don't want to continue on thinking about dealing with this in the near future. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But you can't allow that to fester in your thinking. Things happen in life. We are living long enough to know that now, that
Mhm.
things are going to happen, right?
Mhm.
But when those things happen, you get through them.
Mhm.
And when you get through those things, it makes you more stronger,
Right. Right.
and you are more wiser, right? You're more wiser, you're more knowledgeable, okay? You know more about yourself because yeah, you didn't think you was going to get through those moments, those scary days or whatever, but you made it through. Every one of us are going through something or similar, or I would say multiple things. They may be similar, but we are dealing with some stuff and it's not fun, it's not easy, but yet we still getting through it. Live for your future because your future is so much richer, your future is so much brighter, and there's prosperity in that. Prosperity is not only about the dollars, prosperity is about long life. Who does not want a long life? I just came across watching a lady that's 102 years old. I thought that woman was in her 80s, honey. And she fly as I don't know what. She up there so cute, crossing her legs and everything, honey. I was like, you better go ahead, mother. Okay. She was looking so beautiful, right? Because she's enjoying life. Now, I'm not saying mother did not have no challenges. For her being over 100 years old, I guarantee she has some challenges. That's right, Annette. God is not through with me yet. Shoshana said, second time today I heard that message. God isn't done with me yet. Exactly. He's not. And you have to keep reminding yourself that and realizing that there's greater in store for me. There's greater in store for my life. I don't know what they are, but I know God has something greater in store for me. What I'm going through right now is just a temporary derailment. But even with that, yet God still got me covered. He's still providing. He's still taking care of my bills. He's still taking care of my family, you know. And there's a lot of people who are not working. There's a lot of people who are working, but they're not making what they should receive. You know, my heart goes out to these teachers. These teachers are doing a phenomenal job, but they are not getting paid what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And they are, you know, but they come to work, do what they're called to do, right? And yet, but they are being a parent as well. You know, they're being a coach or they're being a mediator. All of these things, they wear all these multiple hats and whatnot. And not even just teachers, but other occupations out there. But us being a parent ourselves, you know, being whether we're a single parent raising our kids or be married raising our kids or what have you, it's a lot of work. And it can be very discouraging too sometimes, because when you see your kids start to grow up, you know, you get concerned, not just for yourself, but even for your kids. You wonder what your kids' future is going to be like, because the way how things are going on right now, and just like I was just sharing about that article before we started, is a very scary situation. Very scary, you know? And but now we have to really, you know, say, okay, God, I know you have something great in store for my life, for my household, for my children, for my marriage, or whatever it is. And I'm trusting you that you're going to get me there. You're going to guide me there, because I know what you have, the plans for me. That's what he said in Jeremiah 29:11. I already know the plans I got for you. The plans to bless you, not to cause you any harm, not to cause you any stress or anything, but to give you hope, right? That's something to look forward to. That's something to live towards too. That yes, my future is bright. My future is rich. My future is healthy. My future is abundance. My future is overflowing. That's what you got to keep saying to yourself, even through the thick of the craziness of what you're going through right now. Some of you probably dealing with, you know, divorce. Some of you probably dealing with you know, family drama. Some of you probably dealing with, you know, work at your job, or dealing with clients that's cuckoo for cocoa puffs sometimes. I mean, it's just a whole lot. Not even just that, but even your own mental state. Even your own mental, because sometimes we can wreck our own self up just by our own stinking thinking. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to really start disciplining ourselves and training our way of thinking by just being reminded of what God says, who we are from his perspective. We are unique and wonderfully made by
That's
him,
right. That's right.
right? And that's something we got to be proud of and be excited about, that God doesn't see our ugly.
Hmm. Only we
He
see
doesn't
that.
see our ugly. We
Hmm.
only see our messed ups. We only see the scars. We only see the wounds. But he's not looking at all of that. He sees perfection. And so we got to start training ourselves to start looking the way how God sees us,
Yeah.
right? So just live for your future. Go ahead, Tisha.
And a lot of our imperfections that we see, or whatever that God puts on us, he put it on us for we can learn from it and grow from it. So even
Mm,
using all that pain, all the sorrow, the everything, leverage that, because it's something that he is building you up for. You know, I had a
yeah.
conversation the other day with one of my business partners, and we were talking about this. We were saying, listen, you know, you're not going to be able to get a breakthrough unless you've gone through something. Like, a lot of us want this awakening, a lot of us want this abundance, a lot of us want all these things, but we have to first go through things to really
Yeah.
get the knowledge and the experience in all the things that we have to get in order to get to
Yeah.
that goal. I was on a training earlier this morning. Speaking of live for your future, these three things, and I want everybody under the sound of my voice to write these three things down.
Mm.
It's all about the law of navigation, right?
Mhm.
We all understand that, right? The first thing is you got to ask yourself, where am I at right now? Whether it be in
Mhm.
life, in your business, look at where you're at right now. So write it down. Say, hey, this is where I'm at right now. I'm here. I have this. I have that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. This is what's on the table. I don't care what it is. It could be bad credit. It could be, oh yeah, well I have a house, or it could
Mhm.
be, oh right now I'm overweight, or oh I am working towards working out, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
are you at right now? The second thing is, where do you want to be? Where do you want to
Yeah.
be? So
Yeah.
wherever you're at right now, where do you want to be? And the last thing is, what do you need to do right now to get there? Okay. So even
Mhm.
going back to number one, we all use GPS. Those of y'all who are watching in the chat, even if you're watching this on a replay blues, I want y'all to participate. Type one in the chat if you ever use a GPS, whether it be on your phone, right, or
Mhm.
you have one already built in your car.
Mhm.
We always look at the future. We always think about the goal, and that's great. We should all have goals. I look at my
Yeah.
goals every day, right? But if we don't
Mhm.
have a GPS, looks at where you're at first. It starts off where it tracks your current location in order
Yeah.
to get you to your destination.
Mhm.
Follow me here, because it's important that you guys understand this concept. You can't say go, I want to get there, I want to get to my goals, I want to get to my future, I want to get to all these things, if you're
Yeah.
not currently looking at where you're at currently. Because
Mhm.
if you look at from your current location to your destination, you're going to say, okay, what do I need to do in between those two things in order to get to my destination?
Yeah.
So I had to sit down and look at, okay, where I'm at right now. I wrote it out: the
Mhm.
good, the bad, the ugly, right? Where do I
Mhm.
want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? And what do
Mhm.
I need to just get like my hooves down on, and just stay focused
Mhm.
on getting to my destination? Right? What
Yeah.
action steps I need to take? What things I need to drop off? Not even drop off, what things I just need to push aside just for now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And when you're pushing things aside, you may get to a point where people may not understand or people may not get it. But the goal is, you're thinking big picture. You're like, listen,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
have a big goal and I have to reach that goal. And if I have to drive just one vehicle to get there, then I have to need to do that. So we
Mhm.
gotta stay focused. Us jumping around and doing this and doing that and do. And I just had a call today with one of my clients about that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I said, hey, listen, I'm going through the same thing, sis. We're both going through the
Yeah.
same thing together, right? But again, if we don't say, you know what, let's narrow down, first of all, where we at, where do we want to be, and what we need to stay focused on to get to the future you need to get to. Not everybody's living your life. And that's one thing we got to remember. We listen to advice, we listen to encouragement, we listen to motivation. We got to understand that your life may not be the same. Your bank account may not be the same as somebody else. Your resources may not be the same as somebody else's. So you got to use and leverage whatever it is that you have. So
Right.
living for your future is about living first in today.
Mhm.
Is
Mhm.
looking at your current GPS destination, where you're starting with,
Yeah.
then where you need to get to, and what you need to do in order to get there. That is the law of navigation. And while you're
Mhm.
doing all that, operate
Mhm.
in as your future self. Whatever that future self is,
Mhm.
your future self you want to be in 3 months, or the future self you want to be in 6 months. A lot of people think, oh, my future self is in 60 years. No, your future self can say, you could be your future self. And I had this talk with myself today. You could be your future self. I said, Leticia, you can reach all the goals you want to reach, your new car, your new house, everything, right? In 3 to 6 months. You just got to get
Mhm.
focused on one thing. Get focused back to the basics,
Right.
right? And stop bouncing around, because that's what's keeping me from honing in on the things that I know I'm really good at doing.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
you and I spoke about this years ago, Twonta. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Getting honed in on that, and moving forward. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's the thing. So I love this second point. Live for your future, but the future is also, you got to think, preparing for that today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say that
Mhm.
preparation, that's the key
Yeah.
word there, preparation. And also your kids are your future too.
Yep.
Okay? Because yeah, we say live for your kids, but your kids are your future. All
Mm-hmm.
kids are our future, whether
Yeah.
it's your own kids or kids in the neighborhood and the community. They are our future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are our hope, if you will, right? So yeah, we continue to prepare ourselves for what is
Mm-hmm.
coming.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we got to start planting those seeds,
And
now.
we gotta push. Like right now, I'm being honest, y'all. I'm being totally true. I'm tired. If I could take a quick nap, I'll be more than happy. But you know what? After this live, I have like 50 things to do. You guys
Yeah.
gotta push. You gotta push through y'all. If you feel like taking a nap right now, you know you got 50 things to do on your to-do list or what have you. Push and just get it done. Even if you gotta be up to 12 o'clock in the morning. This is a time where you just gotta say, I gotta push. I
Yeah.
don't I feel like we adapt to those luxuries of sleep and wanting to chill and wanting to watch Netflix all day. When
Mm.
if you did not reach your goal today, you got to sit up and say, you know what? Let me do what I need to do. Because sometimes laying your head down ain't the answer. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So we got to finish
That's
the
the
things.
truth, because I'm just realizing too, or come to realizing that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people right now are they're not sleeping like they used to or like they want to,
Mm-hmm.
because due to the demands of what's going on in the economy and what's going on in the community,
Mm-hmm.
they have to work harder. They have to push
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
themselves
For a
to
temporary period of time. It's not going to be forever, y'all. That's
it's
what I
not going
tell
to be
myself in the
forever,
head.
right?
If I push hard for the next 3 to 6 months in my personal brand, not somebody else's, mine, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you all gonna see a huge shift. Absolutely.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I just thought about that I was thinking as you were saying that, there are a lot of people right now that definitely want to lay down and go to sleep or sit up and watch, old movie flicks or something. But of course, they have to push even more further
Hmm.
ahead than they did before, because, you know, it's just so much going on, as we are fully aware of.
Hmm.
But they definitely have to prepare. They want the future to be better, so they will
Hmm.
do what they got to do to make sure that when their kids get that stage of life, that it would not be so straining for them.
Right. Right.
You know?
It'll get easier at the end, but we
Yeah.
gotta really listen, y'all. I forgot how many days are left this quarter, but all of us have to push ourselves. We got to stay
Yeah.
focused on that main thing and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing that. I know for
Yeah.
all of us, if we really tap into that part, we could
Yeah.
become unstoppable. We could run into 2026, and the
Hmm.
rest of the stuff will come later, like putting certain things on the shelf. Not saying I'm going to stop that, but just saying, hey, I'm going to put this on the shelf here. And when I'm done, leveling this thing up, I'll go back to it. I'll pick that thing back up again. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
some of us can't do multiple things at one time, especially this
True.
time of year, Twonta.
True.
Especially
True.
this time of year. You crazy? I'm
Yeah.
talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
say, you know what do I need to eliminate and what I need to do more of, and that's it. Now, if you have a
Yeah.
brand that you have a team, honey, you got like 50 people, marketers, sales reps, all these things. Trust me, you're crushing it. But if you don't, and you have one or two people with you, or it's just by yourself,
Hmm.
you got to do that
Hmm.
process of elimination.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
yep.
Yeah, because yeah, especially in your personal life, you may not have a whole lot of people on your team, if you will. So
Hmm.
you do have to make some hardcore decisions, about how you want your future to be for yourself. You
Hmm.
do have to make some decisions. You will have to eliminate people out of your circle. You will have to walk away or just stay away from toxic, people, that kind of thing, because that can really wreck your future too, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But you want to start fresh. You want to have a clean slate. Right. Thank you, Annette. Pray until something happens. That's the acronym for the word push. Push. Yes. You know, you want to definitely want your future to be more peaceful, to be more livable in a peaceful kind of setting versus where you are right now. And
Hmm.
that's that a lot of people believe based on where they are in the difficult circumstances. They just truly want to, they are accepting, which they should not do, but they are accepting or believing that their future is going to be just as bad as it is now. It can be if you keep saying that way or thinking that way, but you can be the one to change that whole narrative. You can
That's
be the one
right.
to say, you know what, I'm not going to allow this to continue in my future. I'm not going to let this happen to me. I'm going to do something about it, whatever that is. And you take those steps. You don't have to do it all in one lump sum, but you just go ahead and start with the most immediate thing right now that has
Yeah,
been a pressure point in your life. What has caused a lot of pressure to you? What has caused a lot of headache, a lot of strain in your life? It could be your spouse, it could be your kids, it could be your family, it could be your neighbors, whoever it is. But at some point, you're just going to have to say, enough is enough. I don't want to deal with this. I can't accept this. I will not accept this. And and you go from there with however the conversation goes. But at the end of the day, if you want your future to be better than where it is at this state right now, you have to be the one to make that change. You
that's
have to be
right.
to say, okay, I need to just write down some things of what I will accept, what I will not accept. We had talked about this many times.
Yes, we have. I was just about to say that, and we gotta really we have to really desire more from ourselves.
Yeah.
We gotta really take more action in the things we do every day. Stop putting things off to the next day. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Stop, you know, allowing our emotions to get in the way of the things that we're mainly supposed to focus on. Not
Right.
allowing other people's opinions or thoughts to really get in the way of what we need to do. I always say we know what we need to do. We know
Yeah.
how we need to do it. It's just the execution.
Just the execution.
That's what I mean by pushing. It's that execution,
Hmm.
and not standing still or sitting on what our greatness is. Because that's if we keep exercising what we're great at,
Hmm.
and keep taking action every day, our future will be amazing for all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Stop. We look to the past, or we look to other
Yeah.
people for that. One of my business partners told me the other day. He said, how he said it? Oh my God, he just told me this yesterday. Um, Stop seeking validation from other people. He
That's
said that to
powerful.
me. He said,
That's
stop.
powerful.
And he was like, did you enjoy that? I said, yes. He's like, well, then stop seeking validation from other people. And I was like, oh my God. That
Yeah.
made total sense. And after that, I just got in my notebook and got on my laptop and got to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So stop
That's
seeking
powerful right there.
validation.
That's a
Yeah.
word.
hmm
Hmm.
Sometimes we
Yeah.
do that. We don't know it. We don't
That's true.
realize we're doing that, but we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it hits hard too. You have to sit there like, oh, okay, wow, I never thought of it that way,
hmm
But yeah, that's good. I'm glad he said that. What is stopping you as far I'm talking to the viewers, what
Yeah.
has
The viewers.
stopped
Yeah.
you from, moving forward to your future? What is hindering you from, making those important changes?
hmm
Put it in the comments if you don't mind. Is it fear? Is it yourself? As far as you're not you always been saying that, well, I'm not qualified, because we, like I said, we are our worst enemy. We always the one that says, I can't do this, I can't do that because of whatever. Put it in the comment section, and because this is something that you seeing for yourself.
hmm
Acknowledge to yourself, okay, this is what my issue is, my fear,
Mm.
or money, the lack
Right.
of resources,
Right.
those things. Let us know, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Share it
so
in the chat.
yeah, so let's go to our last point for the night. While you guys are doing that, let's go to our last.
Yes.
So our last point is, how about if we live for planned purposes?
Mm. Yeah. That's good.
Planned purposes. Your purpose, your purposes in life has already been planned out.
hmm
It's already been given. You are here for a purpose, with a purpose, right? And you are assigned to go ahead and produce that purpose. Okay. It is given to you, right? And this is something that, I'll keep it real. The enemy doesn't want you to have it.
Mm-mm. Nope.
He doesn't want you to accelerate. He doesn't want you to have it because he knows how it's going to shift the mindset of so many people that he has already kidnapped
That's
mentally.
right. That's right. You're right about
Okay.
that.
So, that's why it's so important for you to stay focused. It's so important for you to live through whatever obstacle that is going on in your life right now. And I'm telling you, I've been there, done that so many times. I think all of us have. You
Yes,
know,
we have.
we say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, but then, when something happens or it doesn't happen the way we want it to happen, we get scaled back, or we get
Mm-hmm.
like, what, I don't think I'm going to do this now because I see that this ain't going the way how I planned, or
Mm.
I'm not getting the support, or nobody really cares. I said that so many times down through
Mm.
the years, but at the end I was hurting myself because people
Yeah,
going to say what they're going to say.
that's right.
People going to say, they're going to say, even when you do achieve the goals that you wrote down on your
And they're
path.
gonna feel how they're gonna feel.
Yeah,
That's
they're
it.
going to still going to talk.
Sometimes you'll never change somebody's feelings. I want to dive into
Right.
that a little bit. Sometimes you'll never change that. Is sometimes people's feelings and their opinions on a certain topic or situation is what it is. It don't matter if you have facts, statistics,
Yeah,
books, the Bible. Don't matter.
it
Whatever,
don't
right?
matter.
It don't
It
matter.
don't matter.
Somebody
No, it
say it
don't
don't
matter.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah. But your planned purposes, the thing is, you don't have anything to do with what has already been perfected.
Mm, mm.
Your plan, the plan that God has for your life is already done.
It's already done.
You just got to walk into it.
That's right. Amen.
He's given you the tools, and the tools are real basic. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to cause you to have, it's not going to stress you out. The only way we get stressed out is if we step out of alignment and we
Mm,
want to do our own thing.
mm. That's a
But if
powerful
we
thing.
stay connected to God at all times, it's it's smooth sailing, sweatless victory. Sweatless
Yeah.
victory every single day. Even before you get to the destination, it's a sweatless victory because
Mm,
you are allowing God to direct your path and you're
mm.
not taking your own path. Right? You know how with that GPS, right? We go ahead and we get the GPS set up in our car or our phone,
Mhm,
and it tells
mhm.
make that exit, but you kind of familiar with the area. You're like, no, I'm gonna go straight, right? I'm
Yep,
gonna go because I know the area. But see, you should have listened because now you're approaching traffic.
yep.
Now you're approaching an accident. And now you have to sit there and wait for a good hour or whatever, depending on that situation, instead of you taking that exit,
Mhm, mhm. You're
right?
right. You're
Annette
right.
says returning back into my home, decorating my
Yes.
personal
Listen, I'm
TV.
gonna do it. Yeah. So Annette, she don't mind share this story. Her house burned down a couple of years ago. Like she had a bad fire.
Oh,
Her and her
okay. Oh,
husband
wow.
barely made it out the house. She's getting the house rebuilt. I let you know there's gonna be a huge housewarming party, y'all. It's gonna be about a 2-day party. We're gonna have fun. Okay. So bring your people. We're gonna have a lot of fun when our house is done. Yes, praise God for that. Praise God for that. Did I freeze it? Did Tawanta freeze? Is it me or Tawanta? Therese. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think it's me. Oh, I think it's me. Is it me or Tawanta? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Go ahead, type one in the chat. Probably both of us. Oh, yep. I think that was Tawanta. Yeah. So it's gonna be a huge party. Okay, at Annette's housewarming party coming up very soon when the house is done being built. So, Therese, go back to our point, love. What's our for this third point? And then we're going to go ahead and jump into what's new. So, live your plan purpose, just like we talked about the GPS. You know, about pushing. Pray until you see something happen. Take action, all the things, and know that when we pray, when we have our goals and dreams and aspirations made in detail, like a lot of times we say, God, give me financial freedom, right? We'll pray for it. Give me financial freedom. Okay, what is financial freedom to you? Like we got to get really detailed on what does that look like. Like today, when I was praying, I said, God, I need this number of clients by the end of December. No, by the end of November. You know what I mean? I didn't even say the amounts. I just said I need this number of clients because I know what the price of my product is, and I need this number of clients to make this certain amount of money. Like we got to pray like that. Like God, bring this number of people to me, or God, give me this number of transactions, give me this number of invoices paid. Whatever it is, get really, really detailed and clear on that. Clarity is everything in our prayers, you know. And then again, when you do it that way, God's gonna send his angels ahead of you, right? Just like with the GPS, it's already mapped out, you know, the directions, what you have to turn right, left, what bridges you have to take, all that stuff. Go ahead and type one in the chat, y'all, if that makes sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Go ahead and type one in the chat because we got to get clearer. We got to give more clarity, more detailed clarity. We are asking for things and we are praying for things. We are supposed to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like the word says, a closed mouth don't get fed. We got to really open our mouths more and get more details about the things that we want out of our lives, especially what we want before the end of 2025. Right? You could really make some. You could make more now. I was on a training this morning, and the person said you can make more now from now into the end of this year than you did all year. All you got to do is get focused. All you have to do is get focused. Oh, here Tawanta's back. She is back. She is back.
Hey y'all, sorry,
It's
Wi-Fi.
okay. Wi-Fi, 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 Wi-Fi. Yes. So let's go and jump into what's news.
Mm-hmm.
What's news? What's news? What's news? What's on the news today? On our our news. Those of you who don't know what What's News is, this is our special segment where we share some amazing things that people are doing all over the world. Things that you're not going to really hear on your local news or on your, national news or what have you. So we have an awesome article. I'm going to go pull it up over here. I know Tawanta, you want me to read it or you want to kick it off, love?
I read it, no problem.
Okay, cool, cool. Let me pull it up on my
This is
phone.
yeah, this is awesome. This is about a Hurricane Katrina survivor who launches a black-owned cafe in Atlanta.
Ooh, I love coffee.
Yeah, that's true. You do.
Y'all don't know anything about me. I love coffee. Okay, hands
Yes.
down.
What's your favorite brand?
I like Starbucks for sure.
Okay. Hmm.
Yes. Like I would try and find a Starbucks. Okay. Yes, y'all share your favorite brands too in the chat. Oh, this is another article got all these there's a lot of ads on here, Tawanta. So
Yeah, no.
start start get ready for it.
This is a young lady. Her name is Keisha Mackey,
Oh.
and it's been 20 years since, of course, the Hurricane Katrina, and she
Wow, 20
relocated.
years? Wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
Girl,
it actually did a
oh my
documentary
God.
of.
I was like 18. Oh my God. It's been that long.
Yeah, girl.
Jesus. Oh my. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I know time went so fast, right? Time goes so quickly.
It sure did. I was a little baby then.
Yeah, girl. But yeah, her name is Keisha Mackey, and she relocated to Atlanta from New Orleans after the Hurricane Katrina. And her Everything Nola Cafe in Atlanta pays
Nola.
to a city she will forever love.
Oh.
Yeah, she says that well, it says that the cafe's owner, Keisha Mackey, proves that even when you take a girl out of New Orleans, you can never take Nola out of her
I
heart.
love New Orleans people accent. If there's any New Orleans people watching this, I love y'all accent. Y'all, I love New Orleans accent.
Yeah,
Baby, like baby. Like,
baby. It's so cool.
oh, and they said 2025. Oh, yeah, I was about 17. Yeah.
Were
They said
you?
that. Yeah, girl, I was 17, 2025. Yeah, girl. Yes, girl.
Wow.
I tell you, I'm a baby.
Ain't no wrong with it. I was in my 30s. I was wait, yeah, I was 35.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Go
was
ahead,
35.
mama. Go ahead, mama.
Hmm. My kids was very young. Well, yeah, I was Stephanie first. I don't even think I had Naya yet. Yeah.
Go ahead,
She says,
sis.
I often hear from people who come into my shop that it feels like home. We've really tried to bring as much of our culture here.
Mm-hmm.
So everything Nola Cafe is a love letter to her home. And you can
Mm-hmm.
hear in the way she dotes on the city's hospitable culture and cuisine that New Orleans is a city she cares deeply about, but did not have the chance to say goodbye to it properly. Of course, Mackie was one of the tens of thousands of people who evacuated as
Right.
Hurricane Katrina threat became imminent.
Right.
Mackie, who hails from the city's ninth ward,
Mm-hmm.
says the urgency of getting people to evacuate New Orleans felt different than any other storm she lived through. She
Mm-hmm.
said, I didn't want to leave at all because we normally don't leave. In the
Mm-hmm.
past, ride out the storm, but I decided to leave at the very last minute. I was seven
Right.
months pregnant. She was 7 months.
Wow. Yeah, so she had to go. Yeah, she had to leave.
Yeah. Her
Yeah.
instinct to evacuate was right. By the time she packed up her car and left with her two oldest children, state leaders had declared a state of emergency and the interstates were completely shut down. She got
Mm.
out just in time, but
Just in
so many
time.
others were not so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
To date, Hurricane Katrina is one of the deadliest natural disasters in the United States. The storm's powerful
Mm-hmm.
storm surge and winds combined with the catastrophic failure of the city's levee system
Yep.
caused the
Yep.
majority of the city to flood.
Yep.
Data from that National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration revealed that Hurricane Katrina is the costliest hurricane to ever hit the United States, surpassing Hurricane Andrew from
Mm-hmm.
1992.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, Katrina is one of the five deadliest hurricanes to have ever struck the United States. In all, Hurricane Katrina was responsible for over 1,833 fatalities
Mm-hmm.
and approximately $108 billion in damage.
Mm.
According
Mm.
to the data, Senator Storm displaced approximately 1.5 million people from Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama in 2005, and it was the largest internal displacement in U.S. history since the Dust Bowl. While
Mm.
some returned home quickly, a significant number, estimated up to 600,000 households, were still displaced a month later, and thousands like Mackie never returned to their homes.
Mm.
Returning to New Orleans was not an option for Mackie and her family because redeveloping the city was a mountainous task. What we were seeing as far as rebuilding was very slow. It was depressing to witness. Her father was living in Atlanta and she felt it was right time to make a change. In addition to the support, she credited successful Black residents in Atlanta for motivating and encouraging her to rebuild her life in a new city. Uh, Here we go with these ads. Oh Lord.
Gotta love them.
Her favorite restaurant, when she could find the iconic New Orleans Snowball, not to be confused with Snow Cone, closed in Decatur. She knew it was time to make her lifelong dream of opening a New Orleans inspired cafe a reality. Mackie officially launched the restaurant in 2019, where people could find the very foods that draw millions of people to New Orleans each year.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there have been some setbacks. It's been 20 years since Mackie, then pregnant, moved to Atlanta, and she had recently found herself displaced once again. The original cafe location recently closed after a change in building ownership. And ironically, as she prepares to commemorate 20 years since relocating to Atlanta due to the hurricane, she was recently displaced from the building. Luckily, everything Nola Cafe has a new home inside Atlanta's first Black-owned food hall on the southwest side of the city. And she's now raising money to help with the smooth transition to the new building because it's been shut down for several months. Some
Mm.
things stay the same. New Orleans characters and heart will be etched into the walls of energy. Mackie is also planning to expand the menu to feature other iconic dishes from the Big Easy, such as po' boys and homemade beignets. Long
Oh
term,
boys.
she would love to host chef from New Orleans a few times a year. As she prepares to reopen the cafe in a new location by the fall, she
Uh
remains
huh.
undeterred from her experience, this is one of the good things she says Hurricane Katrina taught her. Having a business and being an entrepreneur is not for the weak.
Nope.
Amen. So if you're not strong and willing to keep going, you won't make it. I think for me, enduring all of those things, New Orleans has made me extremely resilient and focused, which has helped me in my entrepreneurial journey. I'm very, very grateful for that. Okay. Um, the new location for everything NOLA Cafe is at 1332 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta. So she has the information there. Anybody who is watching that's in the Atlanta area, that's the address, 1332 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. And you guys can go ahead and check her out and support her business. So this is absolutely a wonderful story. I don't see any information in terms of like if she's on Instagram or Facebook, anything like that. But you guys
Mm-hmm.
can take this story and find out for yourself. Let me give you her name one more time so you guys can check her out.
Yep.
Keisha, that's Keisha, Mackey, Mackie. That's her name, Keisha Mackey. You can find her on probably on definitely on Facebook and for sure Instagram, maybe TikTok, and check her out. Her business is called Everything Nola Cafe. That's really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah. Awesome. What do you think, I'm about to say Teresa. What do you think, Tisha?
This is amazing. Again, we all, I mean, I think all of us watching has experienced, not like personally, but I've seen on the news, when Hurricane Katrina was happening, and still,
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans is still, affected from it,
Yeah.
So it was definitely a catastrophe. I remember the morning of, seeing on the news, and you hope for the best. I remember hoping for the best. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In knowing that all that happened, and a lot of it was preventable. A lot of it was
Oh
definitely
yeah.
preventable.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
which makes it even more unfortunate. But yeah, she even out of the concrete, she grew this into an amazing flower and made this business, and I think it's awesome. Yeah, and
Yeah.
y'all all know New Orleans food is good. I mean, I don't know anybody that feels that tasting New Orleans food is like you know.
Yeah, I saw the documentary, Annette. I did see the documentary
Yeah.
of Hurricane Katrina. Just to bring, just to recap some of the things. But I remember watching it that day too, because it was all over the news. It was global. It was all over the news. And I remember that day in the living room watching it and seeing how, the people were just stranded and just so confused and overwhelmed and just didn't understand what the heck was happening, what was going on, and all that stuff at that time. So yeah, so
Yeah.
it was a powerful documentary. Um, and even
A lot of
after,
people couldn't even come back. That a lot of these
right,
neighborhoods
exactly.
that people had are gone because been
Yeah,
wiped out, and now all this new development has been built on
yeah,
that in a lot of areas. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot. Yeah.
it is. And even now, there's people still dealing with that too, with the redevelopment, because they even shared in the documentary at the time. What was the actor's name? I can't think of his name, but he had he partnered with another organization to help build some nice homes for the
Mm,
residents at the time. And
mm,
it was a big thing. But then when they moved in, it was like lemon. It was like it was it
mm,
was horrible.
mm.
The wall, not the walls, but the flooring and everything was coming down. All this, it was a whole lot of
Yep.
structural damage and stuff. And of course, being a color, the community was having a hard time getting the support that they rightfully deserve to get.
Hmm.
So that was an issue that they
Especially
are
in
probably
certain
still,
neighborhoods.
yeah,
Hmm.
that they probably still dealing with to this day. Yeah, because Spike Lee did the documentary.
Yeah.
He did the
Yeah.
documentary. So
Yeah.
but it was very eye catching and very informative for me. Because I was like wondering where are these individuals are now,
Hmm.
and I'm glad to see this article of this young lady. I mean, even some moved to Houston. I remember that a lot of people moved to
Yeah.
Houston, Texas
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
You know, She said, yeah, my husband and son was in Disney World at that time.
Oh,
Oh,
Michael was in Disney. All right now.
oh, wow. Yeah,
Wow.
like 2 years ago, where were you then? Just like with 9/11, where were you when 9/11 happened?
Oh,
I think that's
yep.
something that's etched in memory for a lot of us.
Sean
Oh,
Penn.
no, it wasn't Sean Penn. It was another act. Was it Brad Pitt? I think it was Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Oh.
Yeah, he a lot. Maybe Sean Penn was part of that whole collaboration, but I know Brad Pitt was the one that they show in that documentary after the fact
I
of.
bet you Annette looking it up right now. She I've been Googling it. She probably
Yeah,
Googling
yeah,
it.
it was Brad Pitt, but
Go fact check for us.
yeah, because he was collaborating with another organization or whatever to help build these, more modern type of homes for the residents there, and it seemed so promising and all of that, and it
It
looked
didn't
really nice.
happen.
But then, as soon as they moved in, man,
It was bad.
it just got worse and
That's
worse and worse.
horrible. I hate hearing that. It's horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
horrible.
and I don't remember them even reporting that in the news, to be honest with you,
Probably
because
not.
they ain't gonna report stuff like that. The good side of that, they're gonna report the horrible things or whatever, you know. But yeah, so like even like with the Palisade, Palisade fire, that happened what in February, and right now they're still dealing with trying to get permits. Those who have lost their houses at the Palisade in Altadena, there's a few people that did get their permits, but there's so many others that did not. You know, so keep them in your prayers, y'all, because it's still a struggle for them right now. Some people just pretty much just gave up some of their lot and just moved elsewhere. You
Hmm.
know, it's still an issue, insurance issue, money issue, a whole
Yep.
lot of stuff going on. That of course they're not reporting.
Yep.
They're not reporting. This doc
Yep.
was July 2025. Yeah, it was in July 2025. Yeah, that's when it came out.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, that's when it came out in July 25. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's recent.
Oh yeah, it was recent. Yeah. Yeah, and just keep our dear buddy D'Angelo. Yes.
Yes, I had to play some of his songs, man. I heard about it yesterday. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I was the same way. I was
But
like,
do we know what he passed away of?
oh yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Oh my gosh.
He kept that hidden. No one knew about it except
Nobody
his
knew.
son or what. Yeah. So for what
Wow.
his son had posted from People Magazine that he was in hospice doing the last, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. But prior to that, he was in
What?
the hospital for months.
Oh my
So,
god.
but to say how long he had the cancer is not confirmed.
Not confirmed.
Yeah, but that's pretty
Mm.
much what happened.
My God, today.
Yeah, he was only
Mm. See, I did
51
not
years
know
old.
that.
Yeah, he was only 51. So, yeah, it's devastating to hear that. That was very shocking. I was like, "What?" That's just
Yeah,
like with
Angie
Chad
passed early
Boseman.
this year. Yeah, Angie passed. I mean, we're losing a lot of greats that I know I grew up with. I mean, I
Yeah,
I wasn't supposed to even be listening to no D'Angelo music, honey, but I was listening to it in secret. You know what I mean? They sent you that video he did, child. Listen,
baby, baby. It's like, wow. It's like, okay.
I would be a little old girl watching that, like, Gina. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
the first thing that popped in my head when I saw the post yesterday. I was like, what?
yeah,
Because I still
yeah.
see him like that now in my head,
Of
but not
course.
realizing he's over 50. I'm thinking like the video. I'm thinking
And you know
anyway.
what? He felt so uncomfortable when they
Yeah.
had called him a sex symbol because after he did that video, he was like, no. He did not really feel cool about that. He didn't think himself in that magnitude, but people, honey.
Child, I was drooling every time I watched that video, child. Listen.
Yes. Yes, everybody, all the sisters. I remember the video. We were all watching it. It was like, our mom was like, huh?
I was
I'm
like,
like,
what is
how
this?
long? How,
What
the
is
camera
this?
going down. It was like,
Let's go. I was like,
how, wait.
I watched that after this. I watched that after this. I'm telling you.
Man, oh man, because we was like, oh, wait a minute, y'all.
When did that song come out? I gotta get the year that song came out. I remember, man,
Look
this
at that
shit.
song. I wish Diane was here because she would
Y'all,
have that information.
she would,
Oh,
wouldn't she?
oh my gosh. What
Y'all
year? Because it
find
was
out
in
what
the
year
mid
that song came
90s.
out.
It was in the mid 90s. I
Mid
know that. And
90s.
I think I was where was I, in Baltimore?
I was in high
I think it was
school.
probably in Baltimore or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, that video that changed him altogether. That the
That
single
was
that
not a. That was not AI.
no, that was nowhere near no
No,
AI.
it ain't all that boy. But rest in peace,
My
Steve. Rest in
gosh.
peace. Rest in power. Yes, yes, he will
Yes,
be missed.
Lord.
He will be
Yeah,
missed.
so just keep him in prayer, y'all. Keep his family, his son, because
Yeah.
like you said, he lost both his parents, 7 months apart from each other,
Oh,
and that's just so devastating, And what?
I feel like he's a person. What?
Yeah, Shoshana.
Baby, you know me, girl.
Woo! I'm telling, because that was a talked about video.
Yes.
People could not leave that video alone. They played that video like crazy that day. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna
It was
watch it right after this. I'm telling you right now.
yes, he changed the game when he came
1995.
1995. Yep.
How old was
I
I?
figured 1995.
Let
Oh
my
my
let me get my
gosh.
calculator.
I was where was I? Actually, I was still in
I
Jersey.
was 13.
No.
Yes.
You don't need to be watching that at 13.
I was a minor.
Girl.
I was like, let me check on my calculator. Was that in middle
Listen.
school? Was that middle school, right?
Yeah, somewhere. Girl.
Oh my god. I was 13. I was just a teenager.
Yeah, I had been. Oh man, wait a minute. I had to be like 26.
Oh my goodness, girl.
Yeah,
Listen.
I had to be like 26, something like that. Yeah,
It's all
but
right though.
yes, it's all right.
Okay.
And when he came with his brown sugar, I want some of your brown sugar. I was like, ah!
I like this also Maxwell. Like, ah.
Yeah!
Girl. Listen, I'm going to bed after this. I gotta get after this.
Oh Lord,
Rest
girl.
in peace.
Oh
The
yeah,
thing is that
man, look.
you and no
Man,
shade to no shade to none of the artists now, but none of the artists now got vocals to me. Like D'Angelo had vocals, like he can sing. A lot of these people now they got all that little digital stuff happening, with the when they're singing, it tweaks their voice and stuff, all that stuff. But I think Tawanta's Wi-Fi is going out. Uh-oh. God said we being bad on here. God said we being bad. Is that me, Therese? Is it her? Y'all let me know. Let me see. Let me see the playback. Let me see the playback. Oh, her Wi-Fi messed up. Okay. Okay. She said she's out. She's out. Okay, cool. So listen, y'all. I'm gonna close out the show for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining us and hanging out with us and participating in the chat. We're gonna be back here again next week. So y'all let us know. Okay, if y'all coming next week Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be back here again for another amazing conversation. I hope you guys got a lot of value. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.